Okay guys, the day is here. We are ready to break down our big pieces of lamb into little consumable pieces. What we normally do with lamb is we do the cuts that a butcher would make. So we're gonna have leg of lamb, rack of lamb, lamb chops. All right, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is just wrap up the shoulders and the legs. That's the easiest part. They're, for the most part, cut off. I think on one of these we haven't cut the legs off yet. But that's what we're doing right now, just getting those out of the way, doing the second section here. And then after that, we're going to move on to the rib sections. So we try to take a torso and cut it into 4 rib sections. So we're cutting that off away from the spine, and you'll see that we are leaving the spine right there, because we're going to use that for lamb chops. So once all of those get put away and cut into sections, yes, we use a Sawzall for it, a lot easier. We're going to just start wrapping these ribs up into sections here. And you could wrap 2 of them together. I'm just wrapping them all separately to get a really tight fit around them. And then now the last section are these spine sections that we're going to cut into lamb chops. Now you have a couple different options. It depends on how much time you want to spend on this, but we decided to just cut away the lamb. So now we'll have sections that we can either use for stew meat, or we can still cook the medallions into smaller little lamb chops. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, we are done breaking up the lamb. We ended up getting about 72 pounds of meat, and then we also have about 15 pounds of extra bones and meat and fat for broth and stuff like that. So yeah, it came out pretty good. Let me show you some of the cuts that we did. We have got 4 shoulders, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 4 legs. I actually used one of the legs already to make some jerky, but everything else is bone in. So all of these are huge pieces that you cook similar to like a roast or like a whole chicken. So we'll probably roast it, you know, slow roast these big pieces for when we want a big cut of lamb. And then over here we've got ribs. So these are all different sections of ribs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. I think I wrapped 2 of them together, so there should be 8 pieces. So these we use just like ribs, and we'll cook them and grill them and barbecue them, different things like that. And then the last bit is the loin. Now we decided not to go with lamb chops because it's a little more meticulous to cut them up, and also they weren't that big. They were more like this size instead of a little bit bigger. So we decided to just cut off the meat and use this as stew meat. You could also, you know, grind it up and make some kind of sausage or whatever out of it. So we've got 4 of those. And then last we just have a big bag of bones and extra cuts. A little bit of meat is on all of them. And yeah, so that will be used for broth and stuff. So overall it came out pretty good, and it's pretty cool to think about that these lambs were grown right there in our backyard. It's not crazy to think. You really can't get any closer to your food than that. So it's nice that they ate all that green grass when it was alive and doing well, and now that it's the winter, the grass is gone, and so are the lambs. I tell you what though, I'm kind of sick of lamb and the smell of lamb, and so I think I'm gonna wait a little bit before we really dive into the lamb recipes. We're definitely gonna start our first recipe with some jerky, and that video will be coming up soon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty cool situation to be able to grow your own food. I think that for the work involved, next year we might try to send the lambs off to a butcher. I mean, even though we can do it ourselves, it definitely took us probably 2 hours per lamb to butcher them, and then this probably took me a couple hours to cut it up into pieces as well. So I guess it depends on how much time you want to give it. All right guys, I think that's it for today's video. Hopefully you liked it and it inspired you to start growing your own meat, or at least maybe never growing your own meat. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.